Cyprus, where Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty, rose from the sea. The capital of this small country with a rich cultural heritage is Nicosia. It is a city which has always had an important strategic position throughout its history. Nicosia, still known as Lefkosia, became capital of the island in the 11th century. The Lusinian family turned it into a magnificent city with a royal palace and 50 churches. The city had different owners and conquerors: the Venetians, the Knights Templar, the Turks, and the Britons. It was the scene of extreme violence in the period of Cypriot independence in 1960. The heart of the city, with many museums, ancient churches, and medieval buildings, is still enclosed by 16th century Venetian walls. But Nicosia also lies in the shadow cast from the north, the occupied area. It is the only capital in the world divided by force. The green line going through the city bisects the whole island and serves as the United Nations peacekeeping buffer.
The northern part of Nicosia was occupied by the Turks, and we have the green line which separates Nicosia in two parts. The green line goes through the middle of the city.
Nicosia, as the capital of the Cyprus Republic, is home to politicians, decision-makers, scientists, and students. The fastest-growing science discipline in the country is communication. At the new campus of the University of Cyprus, a high-performance computing systems laboratory was established to promote and coordinate research in the area of grid and internet computing. Those activities will improve the social and human life in Cyprus. The University of Cyprus was established in 1989 and admitted its first students in 1992.
In the long term, I believe that the establishment of the common European research area, which has been one of the main foci of the European Union, will be very important and very helpful for all of us, because we will be able to conduct cutting-edge research and develop new tools and new infrastructures and new innovation throughout Europe. And clearly this collaboration within the European research area gives us the opportunity to establish the critical mass that is required to achieve this type of results and compete with other big countries such as China or the United States.
An important example of international cooperation, which should be taken into consideration, is Project Emmis Fair. The Emmis Fair platform has been launched to encourage Euro-Mediterranean cooperation in overcoming the digital divide in medicine through the successful implementation of a multifunctional internet satellite platform. This platform provides various real-time telemedical services such as telemedicine, medical e-learning, and medical assistance.
But it's not perfect. We can see at least some of the anatomy of the breast ducts.
What we have to do today is the change in the digital medicine. That's more and more we have to work collaboratively. And the multimedia is a part of the medical applications today. And this is the so-called real-time telemedicine today.
This is a typical ICU setting, as we talked the other time, and is the place that critically ill patients are lying there, be monitored all the time, and also be helped by all this sophisticated machinery that require high expertise to use and coordinate. And the idea here is to have all these machines be able to connect it with the satellite and provide a whole picture of the patient and the supportive equipment and monitoring devices to the remote expert or to the remote auditory, create scenarios of education and real-time teleconsultation and second opinion. This is a sophisticated system that gives to the patient a combination of unique medications through a central controller that can control everything at the same time. This is the patient monitor. It's a highly sophisticated monitor that can provide all kinds of parameters regarding blood pressure, cardiogram, oxygenation of the patient, electroencephalogram of the patient to see the brain function, monitor also other parts of the body at the same time, and combine the information in a meaningful way to give you the picture of the patient second by second.
We are here at the Life Sciences Extension Laboratory of the High Performance Computing Lab, and here we are developing IC Grid. IC Grid stands for Intensive Care Grid, and it is a novel framework for integrating information that is available on various intensive care units around Europe through the grid. There are several interesting episodes that might happen in such applications, and we want to be able to share these applications with all the doctors around Europe. And that is a very difficult task because here we have vast amount of information that requires a huge processing. And in order to be able to enable this task, we need a very large infrastructure, and the grid seems like the perfect place to perform this task. So in particular, we have developed the interface for acquiring measurements from such a monitor, and then we filter out the most significant events. These are alerts. We filter these events out and then share these on the grid. I will utilize Marius to act as the patient, and he will help me in setting up this pressure sensor. It will count the systolic and asystolic blood pressure. The measurements are reflected directly in this interface. As soon as the measurement is performed, it will appear in this interface. Okay? And of course there are other sensors as well. This one acquires measurements from the finger. This one acquires the temperature. First of all, imagine that we are in a hospital where we have several such monitors, and these monitors are all attached to some network. And then we have a centralized workstation which connects to all these different monitors. We want to be able to utilize this interface to extract the readings or measurements from all the devices, bring them to a centralized workstation, and from there upload the information to the grid. In the first screen, we see a list of IP addresses. An IP address is available for each of the machine. So we select the devices that we are interested in. Since we only have one monitor in our laboratory, we only have one IP address here. And then the next task is to find out what kind of parameters are available from this particular device. As you can see here, this device supports a wide range of parameters. A doctor can sit in front of his personal computer and monitor 50 or more device monitors concurrently and see only the alerts. Whenever he sees an alert, he can go to the respective bed to take the appropriate action. But he can monitor and control them all from a centralized workstation.
It's the first time that we will have a mixed ICU in Nicosia hospital, because till now all the ICUs are separated in different units. Neuro cases in neuro ICU, but now there will be a mixed ICU. It is the first time for Cyprus to have this ICU. And also the first time for the ICU units to be controlled and to have the intensivist, the control of the unit will be under the intensivist. So we're waiting to come here and have this or for our access to work with. It will be very easy for us to work with all this new machinery.
This is also a sophisticated system to ventilate artificially the patient who is not able to breathe spontaneously. This is the ventilator, as we call it. And this is a small version of the ventilator that can be used to transport patients outside the intensive care unit to the radiology department and back safely.
Έλα εδώ. Άλλαξε εδώ. Κρέμασε τα πράγματα πίσω, έχει μια γκρεμάστρα. We have cooperation with the hospital. They are sending us their cases. Also, all the difficult cases are coming in our center. The problem is we cannot cover the whole field, because now the most of the European centers, they have subspecialties. So what we do for difficult cases, we have several consultants all over the world, in Austria, London and Boston, and we send our cases there for a second opinion, which is very good. We have a mini pack for teleradiology, and so they go into through their computer into our page, and they see the cases we send them. It's really difficult because there is no medical school in Cyprus. So this is our problem. We have to have connections with other universities to keep in touch with the academic work. We have nice filing. Actually, we have all our interesting cases are in a list. So every time when we need to collect all these cases, it's very easy. We just go into the computer and find the names, and we can pick them up from the filing we have. And this is helping us to do more academic work. We have a few projects going on in cooperation with other countries. All our students, they graduate from several other countries of Europe, UK, Greek, America, and it's a mixture of knowledge from everywhere. I think there are some advantages from that. The only problem is transmission. Transmission of the images sometimes is slow, and they are complaining. Sometimes. What we need is just improvement of this transmission through a satellite line or something like that. We need that.
Improving satellite and terrestrial links for a wide range of medical services is, among other things, the main topic for the High Performance Laboratory at the University of Cyprus. The Central Gateway will provide users with access to various content in the network and support the participation in real-time consultations or events. Exchanging knowledge and experience between partners in various countries and the availability of standardized educational modules allow the improvement of qualifications of hospital staff, general practitioners, and other professionals in the medical field.
We are at the High Performance Computing Laboratory. It's one of 13 laboratories in the Computer Science Department at the University of Cyprus. And we focus on several grid-related technologies, first of which is performance evaluation of grid infrastructure, which is my specialty. And we try to improve the quality and reliability of grids through tools such as Grid Bench. Then we have grid ontologies. We describe grids to add human knowledge into how we view the grid, and that's Wade's specialty.
Nicosia lies roughly in the center of the island. The 4.5-meter thick wall surrounding the old city used to have only 3 gates. Between them is the Famagusta Gate, now used as a cultural center. The restoration of the Famagusta Gate won the Europa Nostra Award. The atmosphere in the cities is centuries old. You can feel the history in every step you take. Old houses with ornate balconies, craftsmen in small shops, boutiques and coffee shops.
Αυτά είναι ετάματα και ονομάζονται ομοιώματα. Τα παίρνουμε στην εκκλησία για κάποιον άρρωστο, κάποιο φίλο μας για να γίνει καλά.
Cypriot families still keep all customs and traditions alive. Hand-woven materials are the perfect decorations for family bedrooms. Medieval folk songs are still sung, and people occupy the small restaurants and enjoy relaxing in the sun. Today, Cyprus is a modern country and a new member of the European Union. Nicosia is regarded as the shopping center of Cyprus. Here, the past lives side by side with the present. The modern part of the city developed outside the walls and has become a contemporary business and commercial center. Expensive boutiques selling high-quality clothes and shoes attract young people and visitors. The heart of the new city is Elefthira Square, the most frequently visited place by Cypriots. Ledra Street, with its modern plazas, encloses the City Hall, the post office, and the library.
The University of Cyprus is the first and the only so far public university in the country. It was established in 1989, and we are part of the School of Pure and Applied Sciences, which has 5 departments: mathematics and statistics, physics, computer science, chemistry and biology. Our department has been very active in European funded research since year 2000. After that, in 2003, we have moved into this new building, which has a lot of facilities, and this has helped us enhance our research activities with European funding. Hemisphere has been one of the first projects that we have received with funding from the European Union, and focusing on building an infrastructure that could help the research in the medical sector. And it was actually the first project in which my particular group and the laboratory established in collaboration with the Nicosia General Hospital.
I do administration work by making sure that the components of the local testbed are up and running. I also manage the Cyprus Grid Certification Authority for issuing cryptographic certificates and for users and hosts of the grid.
Hemisphere gave us the opportunity to establish better links both with our local hospital as well as with other partners both in Europe and in the Mediterranean area. And we have a continuation of these activities through other EU-funded projects. One of it is healthware, and through healthware we're actually extending the satellite infrastructure in Cyprus by providing satellite connections to 3 hospitals: the new Nicosia General Hospital, the hospital in Larnaca, and a hospital in Paphos. And this infrastructure is going to be used for second opinion, for e-learning, and this is very important because we don't have currently a medical school in our country, so such networks provide the opportunity to doctors and nurses to receive training and collaborate with other partners abroad in the European Union.
I currently involved to 2 IST projects. One is EGE, another is core grade. My research focuses on the semantic grade. The idea is we put the human knowledge and intelligence into the grade system, which led to the grade system kind of smart, which can work better for the users. We currently cooperate with University of Manchester. We try to define the way how that grade understand the human knowledge. That's my work.
We can also receive expert opinion on the patient, either on an emergency basis or a second opinion on a predefined time from experts outside Cyprus, or give opinion to other doctors outside Nicosia General Hospital. So this is the plan here, to connect all these systems through the central monitoring system with the modem of the satellite dish, and transmit all these pictures from video camera and all the equipment to use them in the purposes I mentioned before.
The patient comes in, makes the X-ray, and then you press a button from the X-ray radiology machine, and you store the image into our archive server. From there, we have several workstations that connect to the server, and you can get images throughout the hospital for medical use. We have different workstations for diagnosis and just for viewing. So depending on who you are, if you are a radiologist or clinical doctor, you get the workstation that is useful to your job. Now we transmit them everywhere in the hospital. You can find it wherever there is a network access port on the hospital. You can plug in a computer and get images if you are authorized to.
As tourism is a substantial economic factor in the Mediterranean region, and because of the increasing mobility of the population, continuity of care through improved medical assistance is of major importance for improved healthcare in Euro-Mediterranean cooperation. The introduction of standardized procedures, integration of a platform with various local and national communication systems, and training of medical staff allow for improved care for travelers and expatriates in the Euro-Mediterranean region.
Hi Maria.
Hi, Leo, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay. Will be okay
I
if we
just
just
tried it.
continue
There's
the
no
presentation.
camera.
If we can just do the recording.
You know, you could definitely rule out, several scenarios, I guess, with even the limited visualization technology. I'm not sure I covered.
Yes, that's a good explanation. That's interesting. I've already been informed, or I was aware of the cross-grid blood flow application.
Two doctors from the Nicosia General Hospital. So let me start out by providing a short introduction. The healthcare industry is among the world's largest and fastest growing and most information intensive.
The vision is to have a patient-centered intensive care, that the healthcare providers are competent based on training, there is continuous medical education, there is an electronic health record internationally available, there will be bedside access to databases remote to the patient, there will be ability to collect and co-assess multiple inputs around the patient, there will be research that will use multi-center patients' databases and interrelation of basic and clinical research. This is, in a picture, the vision of the establishment of the virtual Euro-Mediterranean hospital.